Hey guys, welcome to Coronavirus with George. And today I want to talk about what's going on in here in the US and why I think that the quarantine or shelter in place will not end come April 30th. Hey Thomas, what's up, buddy? So let's scroll down here and see what's going on. So in the USA, we currently have 291,000 cases, 14,000 new so far today. If we look at the end of day yesterday, we did 32,000 and totaled at 277, right? So what does that tell us? Oh, and the number of dead, 7851 so far. So let's go back to my spreadsheet here. So the increase in new cases day over day is down to 13.2. So this is slowly creeping down. You know, you feel like it's like somebody pulling on a big wrench, just pulling as hard as they can, and just slowly coming down. It's taking forever, it seems like, but it is coming down. Not fast enough, but it is coming down. So we're at 13% increase. So that's still. Let's pull out my calculator here real quick. Right, 13.2. So 72 divided by 13.2 equals about 5.45. So about 5.5 days it takes for the number to double. So we're at 277 yesterday. So in 5 or 6 days we'll be at 550,000, right? So that gives you an idea. And then another 5 days, let's say, to get to 1 million, right? So 10 days from now, you could say we'll be at 1 million cases in the United States. What's today? April 4th. So by April 14th, unless this number continues to decrease, which it has been. So, but certainly you expect by late April, mid to late April, we hit 1 million cases. But let's look at the deaths here, because this is the bigger thing. I haven't been keeping track of them every day, but I started putting them in on the 12th and trying to be consistent with putting these in. So if you look at the increase in dead each day, the average here, I threw it over here, is 22.3%. So the number of dead is increasing faster than the infections, right? And that's because infections have been coming down. The dead lags behind that. The deaths happen after people get infected, so the numbers, trail behind. So let's take a look. 22.3%. So that means however many dead we have today, you increase that number by 22.3%. That's what we'll have tomorrow, or that's the way it's been going, right? And so that means it doubles at what rate? 72 divided by. So I'm using the rule of 72 here because that's the easiest way to figure out doubling. So every 3.2 days it doubles. So that's not good, right? So that means if you take this number and just go 1, 2, 3 days, we'll be at 15,000. 1, 2, 3, we'll be at 30,000. 1, 2, 3, and that puts us at 60,000 by about April 12th, assuming this continues at this rate. So we would have 60,000 dead. That would pass the 2017 flu, right? So the average flu season, we lose about 36,000 people, I think is the quoted number. The bad flu season we had, I think it was 2017 or 18, was we lost about 55,000 to 60,000, and nobody always knows the exact numbers, but these are kind of the estimates that are given. So by, what did I say, April 12th, we would have passed the bad flu seasons and be at 60,000 dead. And then 1, 2, 3, 13, 14, 15. If it continues doubling for another 3 days, then we're looking at 100,000 dead by April 15th. Even if this slows down, it seems reasonable that we'll probably have 100,000 Americans dead by the end of April because of coronavirus. And if it keeps increasing at that rate, then we could hit 200,000 or 400,000 and so on. So that's why I think it's unlikely that we're going to stop the quarantine in April, because by the end of April we'll probably be in the worst of it, where whatever the number is, it'll still be increasing every day, but the peak is, of course, the worst of it, right? Then it'll start slowing down. But this hasn't started slowing down yet, right? I mean, it was 16% on March 29th, 21% on the 30th. You see it spike up to 28%. So, excuse me, kind of jumping around, but the average here, 22. So when we see this start to come down, things will still be bad, of course, because at that point there will be so many more patients in hospitals. But I guess this will be when they kind of have it under control, hopefully. So yeah, I don't think the quarantine, or whatever we're calling it, is going to end. There's a few states that still aren't in shelter in place, or whatever they're calling it. That'll happen soon when they have outbreaks. And definitely you think by April 15th or 20th, let's say by April 20th maybe, because some states are kind of slow. And I mean, not slow, they're spread out is what it is. They're not, their people are far apart from each other, so their outbreaks don't happen very fast. So those states will eventually have to lock down too, and maybe, hopefully, the federal government will take charge and say that everybody has to lock down at the same time. So probably near the end of April, every state will be in some sort of shelter in place. And then come May, what I think is they'll probably tighten down even more on it to try and really squash this thing. Because, in theory, if we could keep everybody in their homes for, let's say, I'm not going to say 14 days, because let's say I got it today and then I shelter in place at my home and I don't know I have it, I might give it to my kids next week, right? Or the week after. And so maybe there's another 2 weeks before they get it. And then, they need 2 more weeks before it runs its course through them. So really like 30 days, if everybody's in their house, you'd think it's basically gone. So I'm thinking near the end of April, they may say, okay, it's another 30 days, but everybody needs to take it for real this time and stay home and not go anywhere. And we'll see how that works out. Hopefully it goes well. But that's my prediction for the next month or two. I think because things are about to get really, really bad, I think we'll probably be told to stay inside for another month after this. I could be wrong, but it'd be really hard to send people back to work when we have whatever it's going to be, 50, 100,000 dead, which is where we'll be later this month. All right, thanks for watching, and let's hope I'm wrong and things get better.